There are 11 time zones in Russia, which currently observe times ranging from UTC plus 0200 to UTC plus 1200. List of zones. Since October 2014, the time zones are as follows. Daylight saving time. Prior to 2011, Russia moved its clocks backward and forward on the same annual cycle as Europe. On March 27, 2011, clocks were advanced as usual, but they did not go back that October, effectively making Moscow time UTC plus 4 permanently. On October 26, 2014, following another change in the law, the clocks in most of the country were moved back 1 hour, but DST was not reintroduced. Moscow time returned to UTC plus 3 permanently. History of zone boundaries. In the Russian Empire, most of the nation observed solar time. During the late 19th century, Moscow Mean Time was introduced, originally at UTC plus 0230. However, when the Soviet Union was created, Moscow time became UTC plus 02 and the various other time zones were introduced throughout Russia and the rest of the Soviet Union. On June 21, 1930, the Soviet Union advanced all clocks by 1 hour, effectively making the nation run on daylight saving time all year. In 1980, daylight saving time was introduced. Clocks were moved 1 hour forward on the last Sunday of March and 1 hour back on the last Sunday of September. Russia and most republics in the Soviet Union abolished the decree time on March 31, 1991, but Russia reversed this the following year. In 1992, the government of Russia issued a resolution establishing the borders of the 11 time zones dividing the country's territory. During the following years, various clauses of the resolution were superseded by other laws, reassigning various federal subjects to different time zones. In November 2009, President of Russia Dmitry Medvedev proposed reducing the number of time zones spanning the country, as well as the abolition of daylight saving time. 1993 zone boundary changes. On May 23, 1993 0 o'clock, Novosibirsk Oblast changed its time zone from MSK plus 4 to MSK plus 3. The change occurred during DST, effectively changing the offset from UTC plus 8 to UTC plus 7. The offset without DST was therefore changed from UTC plus 7 to UTC plus 6. 2002 zone boundary changes. In 2002, Tomsk Oblast changed its time zone from MSK plus 4 to MSK plus 3. 2010 zone boundary changes. On March 28, 2010, the following changes were introduced, which, in particular, led to abolition of 2 of the 11 time zones. The Udmurt Republic and Samara Oblast started using Moscow time, thus eliminating Samara time. Kemerovo Oblast started using Omsk time. Chukotka Autonomous Okrug and Kamchatka Krai started using Magadan time, thus eliminating Kamchatka time. Although the Russian government wants to reduce the number of time zones even further, there have been protests in Far Eastern Russia on the recent changes, including protests and a 20,000-strong petition in support of Kamchatka returning to UTC plus 12. 2011 zone boundary changes. The Decree No. A 725 defines Moscow time and lists the zones, numbered 1 to 9 and in turn defined relative to Moscow time. The offsets from UTC are altered. The reference zone, Moscow time zone, now uses UTC plus 0400. This is similar to the 1930 USSR reform with decree time coming into operation. The notions of decree time and daylight saving time were abolished in the law, but in fact, this law mandated permanent daylight saving time. As a result, some districts of the Sakhalin Republic switched from Vladivostok time to Yakutsk time, Tompornsky district, Ust-Mayersky district. Some districts switched from Magadan time to Vladivostok time, Oymyakonsky district, Kurilsky district and Yuzhno-Kurilsky district. Blue Yakutsk time, pink Vladivostok time, red Magadan time. 2014 zone boundary changes. As a result of the annexation of Crimea by the Russian Federation, local authorities in the Republic of Crimea and Sevastopol decreed that clocks in the newly proclaimed Russian federal subjects should jump ahead 2 hours at 10 p.m. on March 29, 2014 to switch from Eastern European time to Moscow time. In July 2014, further changes were passed, which took effect on October 26, 2014. All of Russia moved back 1 hour, except Udmurtia and Samara Oblast remained on UTC plus 0400, Kemerovo Oblast remained on UTC plus 0700, Zabaykalsky Krai moved back 2 hours to UTC plus 0800, Magadan Oblast moved back 2 hours to UTC plus 1000, Chukotka Autonomous Okrug and Kamchatka Krai remained on UTC plus 1200. The parts of the Magadan time zone that remained on MSK plus 8, were given a new time zone name, Srednyokolimsk time, UTC plus 11. Annual DST changes will not be observed. Railway time, all timetables on Russian railways follow Moscow time. Airports, however, follow local time, TZ database. For Russia, the TZ database contains several zones in the File Zone tab. List of zones. The list below shows the 16 zones for Russia as defined in the File Zone tab of the database. The database aims to identify regions that had the same time offset rules since 1970. 2 zones, namely Asia Omsk and Asia Novosibirsk, each cover area that did not observe the same rule set since 1970, all now using Omsk time. On the last Sunday in October 2011, daylight saving time ended in TZDATA, but all zones moved forward 1 hour. In other words, the clocks did not change, but the names of the time zones reverted permanently to their standard time variants and there will be no more daylight saving time going forward. If available, the change column lists the offset changes that caused a creation of a new zone in the TZ database. Initial zone means that in 1970 there was already a difference in time offset from the offsets in any other zone. Deleted zones. Asia Ulanut was a time zone identifier from the zone file of the TZ database. The reference point was Ulanud. It was added in TZ version 2011e. Federal subjects with multiple offsets at the same time, per a 2011 law, the territories of Sakhalin Oblast and Sakha Republic each observe more than one offset. Sakha Republic, UTC plus 10 MSK plus 6 Asia Yakutsk, all except districts in other time zones, UTC plus 11 MSK plus 7 Asia Vladivostok, Oymyakonsky, Ustyansky, and Verkhoyansky districts, UTC plus 12 MSK plus 8 Asia Magadan, Abaysky, Alaikovsky, Momsky, Nizhnokolimsky, Sredryakolimsky, and Verkhoyakolimsky districts, Sakhalin Oblast, UTC plus 11 MSK plus 7 Asia Sakhalin, all except Severokurilsky district in the Kuril Islands, UTC plus 12 MSK plus 8 Asia Magadan, only Severokurilsky district in the Kuril Islands. See also, decree time, references. External links, map of time zones in Russia, time zones of Russia.